Welcome to the Industrial Talk Podcast with Scott MacKenzie. Scott is a passionate industry professional dedicated to transferring cutting-edge, industry-focused innovations and trends while highlighting the men and women who keep the world moving. So put on your hard hat, grab your work boots, and let's go.
All right, once again, thank you very much for joining Industrial Talk. You Industrial Pro, you are here and you are welcome. Thank you very much for supporting Industrial Talk, and thank you for what you do. You are bold, brave, you dare greatly, you innovate, you collaborate, you solve problems each and every day. Therefore, you are making the world a better place, and you must be celebrated, and you must succeed. Absolutely, that's what Industrial Talk is here for you. We are broadcasting at Fabtech. It is in Orlando, Florida, and it's amazing. It's big. It's robust. It has pretty much everything that you could possibly imagine, and then some. You need to put this on your calendar for next year. It is a must-attend event. You will be dazzled by it. And you get to kick the tires of a lot of this innovation and technology that exists out there. It's all cool. It's spinning. All right, speaking of people that are solving problems, we have Gunar Gossard in the hot seat. And we're going to be talking about the BLM Group, so let's get cracking. Yeah. Good conference.
Been a great conference. You know, weren't sure what to expect coming down.
No, heck no.
And, first morning, I had a couple guys sitting there said, well, do we need to start sending some guys home in that first hour?
But does it feel right?
Yeah, exactly. We're like, we might have to get some guys on planes. We might be overstaffed, but by 10:30 things were taking off, and the booth filled up, and it's been a
you got a cool booth.
Been a strong day. Yeah.
I have to show this to anybody out there. Check this out. They're manufacturing these things on site, laser cutting these tubes, and then they put them all together. They fit. There's no rattle. They're so precise. I have one. That's what that means.
He's got one. If you're here, stop by the booth. You can get one as well. We're cutting these all day.
They were cutting it when I was there, and I was like, oh, that's so cool, man.
Our square round ball, we like to call that.
Square round ball.
We make it in sizes from 1/2 inch all the way up to 12-inch square, using those dimensions to put it together, and it's a lot of fun. It's been a conversation piece, and it sits on a lot of people's desks all across the country that have been into our booth over the years.
How long have you been producing these things?
You know, those probably first came out back in 2006, 2007.
You're legendary. So yeah. It just gets better and better, and the technology does a better job.
The design on it has changed over those years, right? You can put whatever you want. We want to, we got a little BLM logo etched inside of it.
You do.
Sometimes we'll mark it with. They've got the Fabtech logo on one of the tubes as well, and so a lot of times we'll identify which city the show's going on and everything else. So it's a lot of fun.
And that's all etched by the laser, too.
Yeah, exactly. So it's right in the process. We just program right in there and say, hey, we don't want to cut through. We just want to etch that. It etches it out, moves on to the next feature, and cuts it out. So it's our technical team does a good job of coming up with good ideas and fun ideas that are appropriate for the location or event, what it is. In our booth this year, and our brochures, they had an alligator mouth capturing a frog with palm trees in the background, right? And so that's where we put our brochures on there, and the guys sat around and put that together. So
you guys are nuts about this stuff. This is so cool because you can pretty much whatever I would imagine. You got a lot of creative individuals out there, and they're just saying, I can do this.
Yes.
I was having a burrito last night, and I was thinking through this, and I said, yeah, I can do this. Let me just fabricate this.
You got it. I mean, and that's, in our booth, one of the other things in our booth this year was exactly that. We've got an arcade game for a 4-person to stand there to play an arcade game. That was our technical team sat down and said, hey, what are we going to come up with? Well, they use the cut and fold technology that we use on the laser tube. Cut on the laser tube, our flat sheet laser cut with the holes cut out of it. PEM insert thread that we can do right in the tube laser.
Okay.
Put it wrapped around, get it painted up, and it turned out fantastic. And then there's a great video of it showing them how they put it together. And there's no welding on it. It's just put together through cut and fold and slot and tab.
Yeah. Jeez, I'm ready to wrap this conversation up. I'm already geeking out. This is fantastic. Hey, for the listeners out there, Gunnar, give us a little background on who you are.
Yeah, so Gunar Gossard, I work for BLM Group. BLM Group is an Italian manufacturer of metal fabricating equipment, specializing in sheet metal and tube processing equipment. And myself, I live out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, but have responsibility as a director of sales across North America, primarily U.S. and Canada. We do some of our customers that are down in Mexico. We work with them and supporting them down there. But products from tube lasers, press brakes, tube bending equipment up to 6-inch diameter, flat sheet lasers, and 5-axis laser systems, wire bending. So the full gamut of metal fabricating equipment for sheet and tube and wire.
You've said that before, haven't you?
Yes.
You said it a couple of times.
Yep, absolutely. Been through that.
Yeah. Do you have this conversation with your wife?
No. I try to avoid it. She may ride along me in the car and catch a phone call from somebody asking about it, and she'll hear it on that. But generally, no.
So, why is this so important? What changes have you seen as a result of this? I mean, it's come a long way. You've been how long you been with BLM?
I've been with BLM 12 years.
So you've seen a lot of changes.
Yeah, absolutely, it has. I mean, the real simple things is when tube lasers came out and the laser technology, not only tube but flat sheet as well, right? It's taking multiple processes and condensing it all down to one. Areas where before I used to have to saw cut it and then go to a notching machine and then go to a drill line to put these holes in it, or maybe it had to go to a machining center to put it in that took 30 minutes to do it. Well, now we're making those parts in less than 2 minutes in a lot of cases. So
beginning to end.
Beginning to end, right. And reducing that secondary operation, right? With the assist gases that are being used now, whether it's nitrogen for the laser cutting, nitrogen, oxygen, a mixed gas option, a nitrogen generation system, high pressure dry air, that allows, if a customer before with the water power increase that are available in the industry on the flat sheet, being able to use nitrogen and assist gas, that eliminates the need for maybe a secondary cleanup on an oxide layer that may impact how it's going to adhere for paint. If they're doing a powder coat or a liquid paint, they may have had to go to a secondary operation to clean that up. That's been eliminated because now they can use nitrogen or a high pressure dry air that doesn't leave that oxide layer, can improve that edge quality on the bottom side of the cut that's there. We see in aluminum with high pressure dry air cutting thicker products that we see a cleaner edge, less dross on that backside that saves people time and money, whereas they used to maybe had to go to machining to get that edge quality. So it's really making advancements both in the gases that are used, but also the power that is now available with the resonators in the marketplace. So it's not just one area; it takes both.
Primarily laser?
Yes, we are 100% laser in ours. We do make a cold saw, so we still do cut some bars to length with the traditional cold saw methods, but primary it's in the laser side.
Tell me about the other options that exist out there to be able to sort of do certain things like this.
Yes.
Give me a comparison why laser is a preferred.
Yeah, I mean, there's you still have the plasma, high definition plasma or plasma systems out there that can still work well. The laser, what it gives you is a little better, higher quality finish, right? My tolerances can be a little tighter. I have less dross, less cleanup maybe on that secondary operation, and it can be faster in those applications. So that's it. On the flat sheet side, you've got water jet. Water jet is still a good option. It gives you a very clean edge. The difference is the speed, the productivity that I can do with a laser versus a water jet as that system. But there's still needs to it, right? If the heat affected zone comes in and the guy's taking it to that secondary operation to be machined, they may want to water jet it and can get real tight tolerance so that they don't have to machine as much away. So again, the end goal is reducing that production time, reducing that cost to production, so that the parts are finished, cost less, be done faster, and get it to your customer or into the end product and out the door.
Speed is really an interesting component, as well as quality.
Yes.
Take us through what you can expect. Let's say I'm designing something. I'll back up. Back up. Just take us through the quality component associated with laser and what you're doing and why that there's a return on that investment.
Right.
There's speed.
Yes.
Right.
There's a speed absolutely component that leads to it, and there's a lot of conversation about speed in the industry right now for some of the power that are available on the machines to do it and how quickly it cuts that. There can be a point of where the limited return on it, because all right, I've cut this as fast, but I can't get it off the machine and into the next phase that I may need to go. So all right, there's a balance between those things. But the quality component of it, when I'm cutting a hole, it used to be, hey, what size diameter hole can I laser cut? Well, it's a 1-to-1. So if I'm cutting 1/4 inch thick material, I can do a 1/4 inch hole. Well, because of the technology, the piercing capabilities, the sensing, the intelligence that is available in the machines today, as soon as it blows through both sides of that surface, being able to move on to do it and improve that quality as it goes through it. So now I can get into a smaller hole than what that thickness is at time, and that can be big. So it doesn't have to go to a secondary operation and still have that quality they need to end up in the final product.
Are there any limitations, like the thickness of the material?
Yeah, there are still some limitations on thickness. Here at the show, we have BLM. Our max wattage on our flat sheet laser is a 20 kilowatt. There's 30, there's 40, there's even some 50 kilowatts in the marketplace that are, talking about and pushing the limits in that 1.5 inch and above that typically have been reserved for the plasma cutting world. So there's that technology is out there, and people are testing those limits that before we didn't think were really going to be feasible, that it made sense. But now it's pushing that limit and looking at new avenues for that laser with that power.
When you started, 12 years ago, has it always been sort of laser-centric?
Yes. Yeah, for me, I started a little bit before in 2006 when I first started selling equipment, when I came to BLM. At that time, there was still the high performance plasma, the 400,
right.
The 400 high performance plasma was really pushing that 1.25 inches, and what the marketplace was adding for those thicker things, thicker materials. Laser stayed in that 1 inch and under world side of things, but that line has become more gray.
Yeah,
that's for sure. That's for sure.
Put your future hat on. Where are we going? Probably. Can you sort of share with us what that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
Don't say AI.
Yeah, no, I won't say AI. I will say automation.
Yeah.
Right. I looked at our booth, and I challenged our team this year as we look at Fabtech coming up next year that, I want to have systems with robot on every machine that we've got, unloading, moving that parts of that next phase. Right. I mean, it's there. We're doing that already. But being able to continue to build that solution and customers to get ideas of what they can do, how it may fit into their facility. Everybody's different. There's not a one solution fits all for that automation, right? But sometimes you just need to see that it is possible, and so the automation is going to continue to drive our entire industry. AI, yes. What it's going to look like, I'm really not sure.
Yeah,
I don't. It's going to I think AI from a high level view, in my opinion, is going to be processing the data quicker and being able to provide some insight into some things that we do in the programming side to say, all right, we don't need to do it. Just here's all the data, process it, kick out the data that's there to help us make decisions better. Right? That's happening right now, and continue to build it. But we'll see where that goes. I'm not. It's not clear to me yet exactly how it flows.
There's an application that I've had this conversation a number of times, and I think you're absolutely right. If there's gold in that data, right, whatever that looks like, whatever that might be, you need the ability to be able to process and look at that data in a very rapid and concise way, and then be able to flip over whatever tactical insights that you want to be able to sort of deploy.
Correct.
When you start talking about automation, these are sort of cobot type of?
Could be cobot, could be any type of robot. I mean, the cobot concept works well, right? The big thing, it's got to be flexible, right? I mean, the days of running millions of parts or hundreds of thousands of parts, while they're still out there and there's application for that, that's great. But the fabricators and what they're seeing every day, they got to have that flexibility, and you got to be easy to program to change over, right? It's got to be one software that communicates from the machine to the robot, or very minimal. They got to be integrated in that connection. That's got to be that's the big steps.
Are you leaning towards certain providers of robots, or just trying to be agnostic?
Yeah, you've got to be, right? I mean, our customers have their preferences. We'll probably find one that's worked with us if we're doing a solution just based on partnership and how those softwares communicate to it. But you've got to be able to provide solutions that give the customers the ability to meet the needs that they've got and the sequence they put in place and where they're going.
God, you were great. This
Thanks.
was a great conversation.
It was fun.
Felt like I was drinking from a fire hose. By the way, I have one of these. Very cool.
Very good. Glad you've got one.
Yeah. All right. For the listener out there, how do they get a hold of you, Gunnar?
You can reach me at g.gossard at BLM Group USA, or check me out on LinkedIn at Gunar Gossard.
No 593 after.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is actually off the top of my head. So just look me up. Look me up, Gunar Gossard with BLM Group.
There you go. All right, that's Gunnar, man. Fantastic. You can tell he's passionate about what he is doing. Team BLM Group, excellent. And we're going to have all the contact information for Gunnar, so don't worry about it. I'll have his LinkedIn stat card out there on Industrial Talk. We're broadcasting from Fabtech, Orlando, Florida. You're not here, you need to be here next year. It is great. You get to meet people like Gunnar and many others who are really focused on your success. Stay tuned. We will be right back.
You're listening to the Industrial Talk Podcast Network.
All right, Gunnar is his name. Yep, Gunar Gossard. BLM Group. They did this. Check this out. If you're out on the video, they were making these things right there. As you can tell in the interview, I was dazzled by it, and rightly so, because, well, it's pretty doggone cool. They just do it. The future is bright in manufacturing. I tell you, I'm all excited. That was Fabtech too, by the way. Fabtech. Excellent event. Annual. That was, you can just kick the tires on all the technology that you want and how it can impact in a positive way your manufacturing. Oh, it's awesome. All right. Industrial Talk is here for you. I say it all the time. If you have a podcast, put it out on Industrial Talk. If you have technology, put it out on Industrial Talk. If you just need to be on Industrial Talk to amplify your message, because we want everyone in industry to succeed. Yep, give me a buzz. Go out to industrialtalk.com. Be bold, be brave, dare greatly. We're going to have another great conversation coming from Fabtech shortly, so stay tuned.